Doing Amazon arbitrage involves constantly hunting for profitable products, listing hundreds of items and completing many other miscellaneous tasks. If you're casually arbitraging a few items a week, you probably don't need a VA. However, if you want to scale your business to the moon, then an Amazon VA is something you will definitely need. Today, we talked to 11 successful Amazon sellers and experts in working with Amazon VAs to learn more about it and discover the best practices to work with them. By watching this video, you will learn different strategies for working with Amazon VAs. My name is Samuel, and let's get to business.
Do you work with VAs? How does that work for you?
I have one VA that's actually a really good account health specialist and very good at Seller Central cases for whatever issue we have. We basically just message her on WhatsApp, hey, we need you to make a case about this, or we just got an inauthentic complaint, can you go submit the invoice? That's been working out beautifully. And then we have a general administrative VA that creates listings in Seller Central, fills out forms that we have to fill out for brands. Just a lot of virtual tasks that are time consuming or possibly tedious that can be done through a VA. We're not trying to build a massive team of VAs. I think we could build a team to really fine tune all of our operations. And that's kind of what we're working on right now, but we're taking it slow, just one process at a time. Because Amazon and e-com, it's 100 little things to take care of every day. There's a lot of little complexities, reports to pull, tiny things to take care of. I think that actually is well suited to a virtual team, but we're gonna try and just take it one step at a time and start offloading that as we go.
Do you have any tips for working with VAs?
So VAs, I'd say the key is they're only as good as the training that you provide to them. You can't expect a VA to just know your business, understand it, jump in and do anything of any complexity. I would spell out everything with the standard operating procedure, just make a document. So I've been using Loom videos a lot to explain tasks, transcribing those videos and having it both in written form, but also a video that they can watch. That's been useful not only for VAs, but my other staff too. Sometimes it's easier for me to communicate something to 3 or 4 people by just recording a 5-minute Loom video and sending it to them versus trying to all huddle around a computer and that people are getting lost. And a video, they can all view it at their own pace and digest it whenever they want. So I'd highly recommend Loom videos and documenting the process of whatever you're doing.
We've placed over 850 VAs with our clients, and one of the key factors that really influence whether you're going to be successful or not is you have at least $5,000 to invest in the deals for the VA. Below that, the maths just don't work. Number 2, you have at least an hour per day to talk to your VA. It means you're going to jump on a screen share every single day, and you're going to literally cameras on, have conversations, build the relationship. You're going to analyze deals in front of them that they have found. You're going to give them feedback on it and show them how you're thinking about it, because you're really sharing your knowledge and your way of sourcing to them. And you can only really do that with a screen share. You can't do it through text or message. It has to be done live, because they can ask questions and see how you're thinking. And even when I'm analyzing a deal in front of VA, I will literally verbally talk, like I'm looking at the name. Is the brand a match in the name? What's the price? How does it look on the keeper chart? This is really important. Now, on top of that, you want to be thinking, do I want to scale my business with VAs? That's a really key metric. And then the final one is you've got to understand a niche, or like something that you're doing. If you think about a virtual assistant, it's just a form of leverage. So they will do more of whatever you are doing. So if you understand what you're doing and it works and you know how, because you can demonstrate it, then they will continue to do that. They'll probably not be as good as you, but even 80% is amazing. So you're like, fantastic. But if you don't understand what you're doing, and you don't know like, these are the brands we source and these suppliers, then you're gonna really struggle, because your VA is trying to find out what to do and you're unable to give them direction on how to make it profitable. And if they knew what they were doing in the first place, they probably wouldn't be working for you. They probably have their own Amazon store and be making all the money without you. So therefore, they need your knowledge applied to their skills, which will allow them to find more profitable products.
I would say the most important thing when working with VAs, try to get a VA that they don't have any experience on Amazon. There is a lot of VAs that when you interview them, they will say like, oh yeah, I used to work with an Amazon seller and I know how to create listings and I know how to do a product research and stuff. I don't like those type of candidates. I like better someone that is coachable, that they don't know anything about Amazon yet, and I will just do a 1 week, a 2 week training, and they just kind of like keep following up.
Number 1, I would say read the book by Chris Docker, I think. It's called Virtual Freedom. explains everything how to handle the VA's team. Really good book. Number 2, which is recommended by the book, is first of all, hire a general VA. Don't hire a bunch of VAs doing a bunch of different things, because then you're gonna become manager of those VAs and then you're not gonna dedicate your time to your business. So you wanna have VAs so you can take more time for you to dedicate into growing the business and they can handle the task. But if you have multiple VAs, you becoming handling them. So the number 1 is general VA, is the one who's gonna handle all the VAs. That's the biggest advice, because I didn't do it this way. I learned the lesson and I had to do it this way.
So you recommend hire a general or one that has more experience and he could do multiple things?
Yeah, you can use that general VA to start doing some of the tasks.
Right.
But that's gonna be your point of contact. If you're gonna hire another VA to do reimbursements, the other one to do bookkeeping, the other one to do marketing, whatever, different position. That general VA is gonna be handling their time, their payroll, make sure they're doing their job, all the communication. You just only talk to your general VA.
This will save a lot of headache, a lot of admin work that you have to do yourself.
Plus hiring and firing as well, because that person is gonna be like a filter for you. She's gonna do all the interviews and then she's just gonna cherry pick the one that you should interview. It's gonna save you a lot of time, a lot of headache, and a lot of mistakes.
So I've had VAs in the past. I like VAs. I'm at the point now where it doesn't really take me that much time to source. I have a lot of replenishable products. I know the sites. I know when the sales are happening. So I really just like to do my own thing, source myself. I might get VAs in the future, but I don't know. I don't really like a lot of the management. You have an employer, you're responsible for them. So I don't take that lightly. So maybe in the past or the future rather, but for right now, it's just me. And I have a prep center. So I kind of look at that as a team, right? There's 10 to 20 people working on my stuff. I'm just ordering it. So I do have a team in that aspect.
I think where most people drop the ball on virtual assistants, it's a very complicated process to train an elite VA. I think where most people drop the ball is the consistent training, right? They show them what to do and then they're like, all right, go do it, opposed to reviewing, re-reviewing, and retraining and staying consistent. They give them a task, hey, this is what I want you to do,
right?
And then they just let them free, right? And they maybe check in once a week. But it's like, if you were to bring an employee into your business in-house, would you train them 1 hour a week? No, you would train them every day for weeks on end. So why do we treat VAs differently? I think it's because the disconnect, right? They're on the other side of the world. So it's just easier to let them do what they do instead of training them properly. And then they can make more mistakes than they actually make you money.
For me, number 1 is punctuality. You want them to be intelligent, which you can't always figure that out on day 1. But if you interview them, if we do a test trial for a week, then you find out pretty quickly if they're good or not. Other than that, it's if you're gonna hire for, let's say, online arbitrage or book arbitrage or something like that, it is nice to have past experience. Some people are always like, I want a VA that has a lot of past experience doing whatever, but sometimes I like to have a VA that has a blank slate too. And if they're smart and they're willing to learn, you can build off of that. But if they're punctual and they're intelligent and they work long hours, for me, that's the most important thing. You don't want a VA that's not gonna work. And I have a VA that works 10 hours a day, and I pay him good for it. And it's just incredible, and not everyone wants to do that. So if you're gonna hire a VA, make sure that they're fit for the job. My right-hand man, 100% needs to be able to work 70, 80-hour weeks.
So the most important thing, to summarize, you gotta find a VA that wants to work long hours as your right-hand man.
If you're hiring for a right-hand man position. If you're hiring for a video editor or even OA, doesn't matter if they work long hours, but if they're going to be somebody, and not everyone's gonna hire a VA like this, but if they're gonna be doing tasks all day for you, you need someone that's gonna be there and work hard. OA, VAs, wholesale VAs, video editors, actually a lot of VAs, the outcome's more important. So let me just clarify that. I don't want people hiring VAs just to make them work really hard,
For VAs, the biggest mistake we made was thinking we needed to have a full week of work in order to hire a VA. But with sites like onlinejobs.ph and upwork.com, which we love Upwork, you can buy fractional help with a VA and just have a few hours a week, and many people are happy to do that for you, so don't wait. That's my biggest tip for working with a VA. Treat it like you're hiring any other job. Get help sooner rather than later.
Yeah, I actually have 2 VAs, one to edit my YouTube videos on my YouTube channel,
and one product sourcing VA to help me doing some product sourcing, because right now I'm a teacher. I'm basically at school 8 hours a day, so I need some help buying some inventory.
Do you have any tips for people when they're picking their VAs?
Yeah, absolutely. Actually, my good friend Steve Rakin and I, we made a course called the VA Training Academy. So it's a master class for how to start with your first virtual assistant. So if you want to go through that, you can. Ultimately though, even if you don't go with that, I would say just know that even if you vet them, vet your virtual assistants really well, know that the first one might not be the one. So don't get attached to any one person. Try out multiple people. Eventually you're going to find someone who meets your goals, they have the same vision as you, and they have the same intellect as you.
I love my VA, she does an amazing job, but it takes a long time and you gotta have some patience with it. I send her emails every single day, we do meetings almost every week. Really know what you're doing and what your business model is, and then once you know that, you can teach it to somebody else. And over time, they just start to get it.
And I've used VAs to help me edit stuff. I'm speaking at the Miami Seller Conference here. I hired a VA to do my slides and organize it the way I want. So I use VAs for that type of stuff. I've never used a VA for sourcing or anything like that. I have a VA that does my book, organizes all my, taxes and business credit cards and stuff like that, because that takes time away from the business to have to do the books and all that. So I have a great VA that does that for me. But besides that, I've never used a VA outside of those two things. I have my fiance that travels with me and we shop together, and she helps me source, and she's out there scanning with me and picking up products and doing everything that I do that helps me ship and everything like that. So it goes really well having a two-person team.
That's all the tips and strategies from Amazon sellers. Make sure to follow the people from today's video and subscribe to our channel so you don't miss the next video. Also, try out the BQool Repricer. We offer a 14-day free trial. No credit card is needed. We're gonna help you win the buy box so that you can increase your sales with the best AI rule. I'll see you in our next episode.